makes you crazy? Look at me! I've been drinking it for hours!
You don't look crazy to me.
Really?
And I think he ate somebody's butt off or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's that dude goes insane. He's next level. It's man. Hey guys, welcome to Cartoon Chat episode 4.
You're not recording.
Yes, I am.
Are you sure?
I'm Brian Swan, joined today with finally, after a while,
Hey, Jet.
Ajet. Find him on SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. Yeah, but we're back. I'm trying to do this. It's trying to bi-weekly, but it ends up being a monthly podcast. It just ends up being so. We'll go from there. Just a couple things we want to start off with. Just jump into a couple things that are cool. This is a little bit old news because I don't have Wi-Fi here, and this news is captured from a week ago. But let's talk about the Smurfs Lost Village trailer. This Smurfs has been a money grab for Sony. All they've done is really they put it in live action. They put CG characters in a live action area
And tried to make them realistic.
And tried to make them realistic looking.
Go well.
It's been panned critically, and it's just old fans don't like it. But this trailer, I mean, they're actually in their world. We're finally getting more than 5 minutes of Smurf Village.
And I honestly upon seeing the trailer, I love the fact that they're a lot more cartoony.
Yeah,
They're a lot more cartoony looking rather than having that semi-realistic Alvin and the Chipmunk style where they're trying to make them fit into the human world, but it doesn't really look too good.
No.
Space Jam did a better job in incorporating, and that was 2D. That was 2D.
2D, and it was 1997 or 6.
Yeah,
or 4.
I feel like more. If you're gonna do that, there should be more. There should be more movies that adapt 2D animation rather than trying to do CGI.
Exactly.
Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Space Jam, of course.
Yep. Or Son of Zorn.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I can't really say anything for Son of Zorn because I haven't seen it.
Right.
But from what I can see, they try to incorporate it as well as they possibly can.
Right.
But
Smurfs has been disappointing for a while, and this looks like it actually might be a positive spin on the Smurfs for the first time for some reason since they've actually started. I don't know why it's taken them so long, but this should have been what they did from the jump, and we're finally getting it. I mean, that's the best thing about it. But yeah.
Now we just need Alvin and the Chipmunks to incorporate this logic. Just start over.
Just stop. No, I'm sorry. Alvin just needs to stop. I don't even care anymore.
No, I'm saying they got the cartoon, the new show.
Yeah.
I love the new show.
Okay.
Well, I don't love it. It's okay.
It's there.
Yeah, it's okay. And I love the fact that it's original songs. They have original music rather than doing a pop cover unlike some other live action sitcom on Nick that's based off of a movie that was about an actual band. You all know what I'm talking about. But I do like the fact that it's a lot more original, and I love the slice of life action rather than it just being about them trying to become superstars.
It's yeah.
They're just living their lives and they're going to high school and all of that stuff.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. But Alvin and the Chipmunks, yeah, I mean, if they did this with Alvin and the Chipmunks, I wish they would have done that from the jump. That's the whole thing. Smurfs, there've only been 2 Smurfs movies, not 3. There have been 4 Alvin and the Chipmunks movies. It's gone past redemption for me. I'm sorry, I can. Yeah. I just. There was the Squeakquel. There was Shipwrecked. Okay. There was Road Chip. So that's 4. We got
original Squeakquel Road. That is 4.
There are 4. There are as many Alvin and the Chipmunks movies as there are Ice Age movies.
And I remember I went to see the Squeakquel in theaters, and for some reason I liked it.
Well, the Squeakquel was.
It was
okay. It was an okay sequel because they added girls.
Yeah.
But still, it was okay. It's just.
And the inner cringy preteen in me was jealous that the Squeakquel beat Twilight at the Kids' Choice Awards at the time.
Oh, really? I don't know. I never really got into Twilight. No, we're not going. We're not jumping into Twilight. Screw this. It's CartoonChat. Anyway, next one. So, this is weird for some, but it may make sense once I explain it. But NBC Universal, of course, bought DreamWorks Animation. They already had Illumination Entertainment, and what we're seeing is that DreamWorks Animation is getting a 200 job cut. There are 200 people that are going to lose their jobs or already lost their jobs, at least by now, from the animation studio that has been around.
Let's
for
hope it's the
years.
entire staff of Shark Tale.
Well, remember once Comcast bought DreamWorks Animation, they said Shrek 5, get on it. That was like that's what they want now. They're going for money.
I feel like that's kind of dumb though.
It's stupid.
It's really dumb, especially when the previous movie was Shrek:
Forever.
The Final Chapter.
Was it Forever After?
They switched it midway through production. First it was Shrek Forever After, and then it was Shrek: The Final Chapter.
Okay. Yeah, it's I'm very what seems to be happening is you have NBC Universal, which owns two 3D two CG animation companies. DreamWorks is iconic and well known and great, and everyone has their memories of DreamWorks. Illumination is the new kid on the block. They have the Despicable Me series. They've had bad ones like Hop, and they're gonna have Sing or whatever movie it's called. Whatever the movie.
Basically, Zootopia the musical.
Yeah, it was weird because they were all they had that in the trailer of Zootopia, and I was like, what? They had that trailer in Zootopia.
There was a lot of when I went to see Zootopia, there were a lot of anthropomorphic.
No, this was the year of it. This is the year of anthropomorphic.
It was a lot of anthropomorphic trailers going on, and there was one commercial, and I was just like, Zootopia 2 is looking great, and. I remember the guy sitting in front of me, he thought that I said effing. And so he looked back at me, he was like, you gotta watch your mouth, man. This kid's in here. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I didn't say fucking.
Like, is Zootopia a curse word?
No, just to go on a small tangent, I just, Zootopia was so good. I would love for a sequel, not to be about Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, but I'd love to see... I'd love to see another section of Zootopia. I'd love to see because they really enveloped the world. They gave us an idea of what the world is like. I want to see another take on another area.
There was an
Zootopia.
entire concept.
I saw
Zootopia.
that and I was like, oh, that is actually really smart.
Yeah, but they felt as though it was a little too extreme.
Right.
The fact that it felt like it was pushing the idea of don't judge prejudices too far, exactly. Where it was like they were all wearing the collars. Like, all of the predators were wearing the collars, and all of the prey, they were fine.
Yeah, it was going into that area of.
And it was the idea that Nick was going to run like an amusement, like a Dave and Buster's type of place where all of the predators they would have a place to take their collars off and just chill.
Right.
And I remember the scary part. Well, not necessarily scary. It was just like that hurt. Was they treat when the kid got his collar for his birthday, they had treated it as if it was some sort of rite of passage, and when he got too excited and the collar shocked him, it was just like, oh my god.
I think that would be really. That sounds like Disney dark back in the late '80s, early '90s. That sounds like something in a Disney movie from the late '80s, early '90s. Which again, PG. There's a Nostalgia Critic video about it where how far has PG actually slid, but. That sounds like something that if Zootopia was made then would have made the cut, but no, that does sound like something where it's like it goes into the dynamic of the Nazi rise to power, that sort of thing, where they really tagged all of these people, and Zootopia had some strong messaging, and they did it perfectly in the way that they did it here. If they went a little further, that would be a little too much, I think. Generally, in this current status of the population, there'd be more people outraged, like, oh, why would you tell this to kids? But
people were still outraged over what Zootopia brought, especially with the Black Lives Matter movement going on and all of that stuff. It was just like, this was a really tough year, and 2015. They were generally just tough years when it came to racial
tension.
Yeah, racial tension, just like racial issues in general. It's just like Zootopia was just the thing that kind of pushed it, and I know a lot of people were angry that Zootopia pushed this topic.
Right? No, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, when Zootopia, because the fact is that you have when you have the population split already on this topic, and then you go and you make a movie about it, it's you already have people that are actually live action movies that are delving in very similar situations right now, and there's just as much of hate about that. But it's an actual thing that happened. People want to act like it doesn't happen. They want to ignore it. But that's where we are right now. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, DreamWorks.
Yeah.
But no. Going back to DreamWorks, it seems as if we have these two new kids on the block. We have DreamWorks making movies like they've been well known. They're iconic. Illumination's new. What seems to be happening is Illumination does their animation at a lower amount, so they like.
Who animated Sausage Party?
No, neither. That was some other company.
Okay.
But Illumination produces their films for a lot lower, and they make a lot more money in the long term. Mm-hmm. DreamWorks asks for a lot more money to produce their movies, and they don't make. Sometimes then, more recently, they haven't cut it. How to Train Your Dragon 2 failed at the box office. It unfortunately because of there was Minions out. 2014. That was 2014. I can't remember what movie came out alongside it, but How to Train Your Dragon collapsed. I think there were. I can't remember what other movies, but they have not been producing. They have not been producing a large difference and a large success when it comes to making a lot more income than expense when it comes to what how their movies are doing. So it's unfortunate, but because DreamWorks just isn't cutting it right now with them, they're making amazing movies. The Kung Fu Panda series, fantastic. How to Train Your Dragon series is going to wrap up in 2017, fantastic. You have a number of series that are going to be great in the long term to watch as just enjoyable films, but they're not making box office revenue.
Right.
And so Comcast wants to cut it, or NBC Universal, aka Comcast, because Comcast owns NBC Universal, and that's where we're going with DreamWorks. I wouldn't be that sucks, but that's the future.
That's just life.
Yeah.
Also into Earth, as Garnet said.
Yeah. We got to talk about. Who's that girl's name? Steven Universe.
What about who? See from Steven.
The new girl. The girl. Pearl. Or Garnet.
Lapis.
No, I'm sorry.
Like the newest character?
The newest redhead. Pink hair.
Oh, S.
Yeah.
Mystery Girl.
Mystery Girl.
Speaking of Mystery Girl, Clarence. I just want to call her S because since we're talking about Clarence later, as I can see.
Right.
And so S.
I really love this because what we're getting we're finally getting to the point where I don't think we've ever gotten to this point where like let's say like when I saw this episode I was like so like it really I was so happy because of the fact that we're finally getting to that point where like same-sex nervousness and anxiety toward asking someone out is finally something that's real.
Yes.
It's like, okay, in animation we can finally say, okay, this person wants to go out with this person. Let's show that. Let's show how it feels. It's the same exact way, obviously, but people always have this expectation that it's not, and they're finally actually like putting this out there. It was like, thank fucking God. Like, I loved it because it really just
not only that, but this is another huge character development for Pearl.
Oh yeah,
it was a huge sense of character development for Pearl because we knew it took her a long time to get over Rose. Mm-hmm. Well, not necessarily get over her, but just realize that Rose would want her to be happy if she was gone. Exactly. And we finally got her. Like we finally got her to deal with her beef with Greg, and like they finally settled their stuff. And now she's back into dating.
Exactly.
And she's showing like she can be more of a rebel. Rather than being the strict, snooty, uptight person that she always was.
That she was, yeah.
And I love that fact. Like I love how she was all sassy, but I've been a criminal for thousands of years. It's just like that's
the side that
like you got it, Burn Mom, you got it.
Yeah.
Like it just feels really good to see Pearl like back on the saddle, just trying to
in her own element, doing her
Yeah,
thing.
just trying to like she was still being herself.
Yeah,
she wasn't like putting on some sort of persona upon meeting S.
She was being herself, and I love the fact that she was weird, right? She was obviously weird, but the girl was like, all right, and she laughed.
Like she was because like she didn't know that Pearl was being literal.
But exactly,
and that was the funny thing about it. It's just like because if someone told you those things and they were joking, like you're just like, yeah, like I feel that. I know what it feels like. Like just being trapped in turmoil for 1,000. I know the struggle. I know the struggle. Like that's stuff that like people just like joke about. Just like.
But
like,
she's being completely serious.
Yeah, and like if they further progress Pearl's relationship with S, then it's gonna be really dope.
I would love that. I would.
Yeah, it's gonna be really dope to find her
to pop in every once, like not even every once in a while, but just to see her every once in a while. Like okay, they're intertwining. Their relationship is growing. It's getting, like I love that this series in itself has done so much for animation in general because, like I said in my review, this show has broken things that even other animated series weren't able to like get past.
Even back in the 90s, they couldn't talk.
No,
they didn't talk about homosexuality as if it was okay. Like only certain cartoons did it, like Hey Arnold, but it was very, very, subtle. You had cartoons like Cow and Chicken and Dexter that had characters that made fun of gay people.
Exactly.
That brought up the stereotypes of gay people, such as the banned episode of Cow and Chicken where Cow decided to hang out with the female biker gang that broke into people's houses and ate red carpet. And there was in Dexter, I think it was for the Major Glory, the Justice Friends. It was the Silver Spooner. And he was a very flamboyant, stereotypical. To make it worse, he was like considered a villain. And it was just like, and like now you have shows like Steven Universe and Clarence that that just make it so
open and not
not
just the point that it should be.
It's just like they don't over glorify. They just treat it as an okay thing. Like it's just like. These people are gay, but they're just gay, and like there's nothing about like they don't really like shove it in our faces. They just happen to be gay, and they're just living in the world as gay people.
They don't shove it in our faces, but one thing I really do love about this is the fact that it allows for this show to really have a lot more of a message.
Sorry, we're watching Billy and Mandy while this is going on.
It allows this show to make a difference as it already has. And like for example, there are kids, right, that may or may not understand this at this point in time. 10 years from now, 5 years from now. And it doesn't be heterosexual. It doesn't be homosexual or heterosexual, either or.
Yeah.
That one scene where she's just like, where she was like kind of nervous for a second there, talk to her,
got the number.
Yeah, it's like even that in itself is like, okay, have a little bit of confidence, be strong. You'll get this. It's okay. And if you don't,
and I love Rebecca Sugar's message on like why they have so many like homosexual and feminist-based like issues, and she's saying like it's partially based on her experiences as a bisexual woman, and the idea that we can't just keep silent. We can't keep silent about homosexuality to kids.
No, yeah.
There's no way we can avoid it. We can't just sit there and dodge it. Like, and it's not saying like we're like shoving homosexuality down our kids or like trying to force kids to be gay.
No, you can't.
Or force them into something they're not. It's just like
that
we just gotta say like, son or daughter, there are people out there that love other genders, and
that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. There's no shame in it, and if you are, then that's okay. There's no problem with it. It's nothing about.
And this makes it so much easier, right? Like this presents it in a way where it's natural. There's no that's why I love it. The more that media goes out there and extends a hand to that, the easier it'll be overall. And the fact that Steven Universe is doing that, it makes me so excited and happy. The fact that we're getting to that point, because it's like this is something that has been just almost blocked entirely for so long, or just limited, or joked about, or not, and it was just like
now we're having
also to see that character.
And the other show that I'm gonna give props to, because like there were rumors going around that the show got canceled because of this episode, but it did get a bunch of backlash. Good Luck Charlie. There was an episode where
is that Disney?
Yes.
I don't.
Disney Channel. It's a live action sitcom.
I'm
the one about they were raising the baby or something like that.
I don't.
And there was an episode where Charlie went on a play date
right.
with this kid, and he had got picked up by his mom, and then they went on another play date, and he got picked up by a different mom.
Right.
And like they were wondering what's going on. So like the final play date, they came to pick up the kid, and both of the moms showed up.
Right.
And they were just like, oh, hey, they have two moms. And like, no. They never necessarily said any messages about anything about, like, oh, they're gay. They just said, hey, he just has two moms. I never would have thought.
It's not, it should be, at this point, it should be okay, and it's not your business, additionally.
But, like, they got a bunch of backlash because...
Oh, why should my kid be watching? It doesn't.
My kid shouldn't be exposed to homosexuality. It's just... They're going to eventually.
The more that
it's better to start.
The more that you keep trying to block it, the more that they'll be ignorant to this idea in which everyone can be with whoever they want to be with.
Right.
The more that that's blocked, the more that we'll have this, and that sucks. And that's what. So that's why it's like, the more and more generations that see something like this, the better it'll get. And it only gets better from here. Let's jump in. I don't know if you care about Nickelodeon getting a theme park.
I'm interested. We were talking about this before the podcast. We were saying like
apparently it's gonna be the largest theme park in the
where's it gonna be?
North New Jersey, I believe, is what they said.
That's not fun here.
Yeah, it's not. I'm glad it wasn't like California, because that's like distant. But
like I wouldn't go all the way to California just for a theme park, except for some people that go to this theme park based on a mouse. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Legoland.
But I'd be interested because there was a theme park back in the day.
Yeah, well, there was. I know King's Dominion had a section of their theme park as well.
And I remember Nickelodeon Studios in itself was kind of like a theme park, but they just got rid of it. Like back when Slime Time and You Pick Live was a thing.
Mm-hmm. That was in Universal Studios, I think, right?
I don't know. I thought it was in Nick Studios, but it sucks that they just got rid of all of that.
Right.
But now that they're actually bringing in a theme park, and they probably have the potential for another segment such like Slime Time Where You Pick Live, and unlike Nick Studio 10, I just like the idea, and I definitely go, but I don't know if they're going to do the thing that Chuck E. Cheese's does, where like you gotta have a child.
It's gotta be a child, and you can't be nostalgic. Nope, you can't be an adult and love cartoons. Nope. You gotta be a kid.
Something in me feels like they're going to incorporate.
I mean, they
a lot of modern cartoons.
They'll incorporate modern cartoons, but I think unlike Cartoon Network, Cartoon Network has it, but they don't have a high degree of it where they can really base themselves on their nostalgic stuff.
Yeah.
Like they already have the Splat. I think they could have a Splat section of their, theme park just committed to classic animation. That could be for everyone. And like I think that would be cool. Like for example, you can make so much money off of a merch store that has like dozens of animated series. You could have callbacks to Cat Dog and all that stuff. People would buy that stuff. People would jump into that.
Speaking of people that would buy that stuff, the Splat is doing like a Loot Crate type of thing.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're sending
the Splat crate?
Something like that. And
Splat
I noticed that some people have opened it. Like some people have like done unboxings, and they send some pretty good stuff, and they give you like a Cynthia doll.
I got this.
Reptar
I got this
doll.
slimy dildo. That was disgusting.
Yeah, like a Reptar action figure or something like that. It's just like I like that idea that they're trying to cash in, but at the same time they're not being like overly.
They're not being cheap about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like who? Like everybody wanted a Cynthia. Like I want a Cynthia.
Yeah. I could pass on that one.
Like a Reptar doll, and
Reptar was cool.
Yeah.
I would just love a T-shirt or a keychain or a button or something like that with some Nicktoons on it. I mean, everywhere you go, or it's very limited. Even Hot Topic, they don't have a high degree of Hot Topic doesn't have a high degree of
Nick
Nickelodeon
nostalgia.
stuff. You have a lot of
because Steven Universe is taking up all the revenue.
That's very true.
Steven Universe got its own clothing line with Hot Topic now. It's just like
exactly, yeah. It's incredible. But yeah, no, Nick. I think that they could have potential. I'd love to see what theme rides they also make because I think that the theme rides could be very interesting. I'll be also interested if they base on SpongeBob because SpongeBob's at this weird point where the ratings are dropping. Kids aren't watching it as much. It's still an icon, but it's not an icon in the sense that everyone knows about it much anymore. It's just there.
You know what I want to see?
So, like, what if SpongeBob is barely even, like, there? It's going to be there, obviously, but it won't be...
I'm pretty sure they're going to have a Krusty Krab.
They better have a fucking Krusty Krab. If they don't have a Krusty Krab, what's the point of a Nick, like, theme park?
But, I want to see a live replica of the Loud House. Tell me that wouldn't be dope.
You know what'd be even cooler? You get some of the employees to dress up as the Loud family? That'd be even cooler.
Are you talking about if they have, like...
Because all the personalities...
Like, actual, like, costumes with, like, helmets and stuff? Or, like, the kids... Like, there are a bunch of people that are just dressed as the characters.
As the characters.
That would be dope, too.
Yeah, I would love that, you know? Man, that'd be really crazy. That'd be really cool. Now I'm actually really excited about the Nick theme park. First I was like, now
I definitely need to see something with the Loud House. They're
getting high ratings at this point in time. I think that they deserve it just as much as Rocket Modern Life deserves it.
Ooh, I got it better. I got another one. You remember the spinning tree from Harvey Beaks? What if they made a ride off of that? Remember because he had to jump down?
Yeah.
That would be so dope.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if they had the tree and then they just had sort of... I thought they would... If they just had a tree in general that wasn't a ride, I would be surprised. If they had a ride about it, it would blow my mind.
Like if it was like a skydiving type of thing, but it was safe. Mm-hmm. Or like one of those... like I think Six Flags have one of those. Just like it's like a tunnel and like... You're like, it's like a bunch of people in chairs around the tunnel, like it just drops down and then goes back up and drops down. It's just, like, I feel like that would be dope as a ride for a spinning tree or something like that.
It could also be cool for fish hooks. I know I said no SpongeBob, but
that's cool Disney.
Fish hooks. Playing hooky.
Oh!
I'm sorry that Disney stole the idea, but no, like playing hooky.
I mean, to be fair, Justin Roiland pretty much put Morty's voice, like stole Morty's voice from Oscar.
Uh-huh.
Like Oscar the fish.
Right. But all right, let's get into our first topic. We talked a lot about a lot of things. That felt like a topic in itself, but all right, let's start with our first one. I've gotten a lot of questions on my channel. I've gotten a lot of questions on particular videos. Cartoon Network. This year, we have the end of regular show after...
I'm sorry, we're still watching Billy and Mandy.
No, we're done. We're done with you.
Why you cut it off?
We have to... We're going to just keep... Fine.
Alright, okay.
Alright, fine. But no, we keep... we keep have. I'm just gonna have to cut this out, like not this part, but just when I keep saying What I mean to say is, everyone thinks that Cartoon Network is coming to an end because of the fact that regular shows are ending. We have Gumball coming to a close toward the end of this season, which will end I think toward the beginning of 2017 is going to be the end of that. So we're getting to this point where Cartoon Network is completely changing, and then the identity is changing, and
We Bare Bears is slightly dying.
I wouldn't say it's dying, but what I'd say is that
slightly.
You know what's interesting? As much as I don't like the idea of Cartoon Network's getting worse, I also want to say that 2016 may be the best year that we've had from Cartoon Network in a very long time.
The entire 2010 was just like the best.
You mean 20? Well, I think that the build-up has been great. I think that this is the year that has everything. Like, we finally get a year that has everything, that has variety and choice and style. Like, 2013 was cool. We had all these different shows from 2010 to 2013. But 2016, we're at this point now where we have Adventure Time, we have Gumball, we have regular show, we have Teen Titans Go, as much as people like it, it has ratings. There are kids that like it. We Bare Bears is cool. Steven Universe is cool. Clarence is cool. Am I forget? Regular show. That's what I said. Regular show.
Regular show is ending.
Is ending, but it's all in this year, right? So this year probably has one of the most diverse lineup from Cartoon Network we've had since 2005, 2006 maybe, and I love that. I love how great this is.
Because there are shows, like you said, there are shows that you can pick and choose from. There are some shows that you don't like, and there are some shows that you just rather wait to watch.
I forgot Powerpuff Girls. Talking about shows we don't want to watch. People think I love Powerpuff Girls, guys. I don't like Powerpuff Girls. I think it's okay, and I think that it doesn't even have the identity.
And Brian, we had so much potential for Powerpuff Girls. We were hype.
We were on that.
We
train.
were defending it.
Yep.
Up until the week it was premiered, and then
because you have to,
they just let us down. Like, I was okay with the voice acting changing. I was okay with the animation style.
Yep.
And the fact that people were complaining about the little spike on Buttercup's hair.
Why the fuck that was a thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why the fuck that was a thing, I don't know. But
the outcome, it was just so disappointing.
What it feels like is, and I have this in a review that I haven't uploaded yet, but it just does not. The great thing about Powerpuff Girls is that it didn't feel like it was scripted and set up and stylized by someone. It felt so, it felt different and by itself and new and in this new different style. It didn't conform to anything or anyone.
Yeah,
and this one is just so, it's the opposite. It's not Powerpuff Girls. It's just,
as I forgot who said this. I think Mr. Enter said it. He said that the Powerpuff Girls is going through an identity crisis.
Exactly, because
they don't know whether they want to be the continuation of the original or a completely different entity, and they're just confused on which one they're trying to be.
Right, and you can see that. You can see that in every single episode. That's what sucks, because there are scenes where it feels like the original, just maybe one or two scenes where it feels like the original, the way that they're talking, the way that they're doing
and things. The lore and all that stuff.
And then the villains are bad or something happens. It's just
And there are even some instances where they'll introduce villains from the previous without giving them a proper introduction.
Exactly.
The fact that they introduced Mojo through the Teen Titans crossover. Keep in mind, the Teen Titans crossover was really good. It was good.
God.
It was good.
Oh God.
I mean, I'll be honest. I liked it mainly because, for one,
oh God, no.
The Teen Titans crew animated the Powerpuff Girls nicely.
No.
Take us, Brian. Go home.
I'm not going to give them an A+ for animating the power. That's a job that they should be doing. I'm going to give them critiques on a story that should have made sense. What doesn't make sense is a story in which the Powerpuff Girls come into the Teen Titans, and the Teen Titans aren't serious about the fact that there's a villain out there. The fact that that Beast Boy and Cyborg literally just join fucking Mojo Jojo. Just fucking join.
The thing that I like about it, though, is that the Powerpuff Girls were obviously the better heroes than the Teen Titans.
Exactly.
And that was the point of the story. It was just the Teen Titans were obviously assholes about the idea that there are superheroes that were better than them. And one thing I didn't like is the fact that it was especially Tara Strong taking shots.
Yeah.
It was especially Tara Strong trying to take shots at Teen Titans Go, and I'm pretty sure, at the new Powerpuff Girls, and I'm pretty sure she got a kick out of that, just like with Aqualad bashing on Teen Titans. It's just I'm
surprised. I don't think they had any direct lines with Bubbles, right? I don't think Bubbles and
it was mainly Bubbles and Starfire.
Yeah, dude. I don't think Bubbles and Raven had any lines together. But no, that crossover, I will not give any light today with that. What I said was, and everyone always critiques me for this, but there's a certain group. There's a group of viewers out there. There's a young group of viewers that likes this, and so it makes sense that they made something like this. But as someone who actually can critique this with an adult mind, this is shit. This is pure shit, and it's bad, and it sucks ass that we have a crossover that we've been waiting for, that we wished happened back in the original, but now we finally have the chance to do it, and it falls flat on its face. it's crap. It's poorly done. It was disappointing.
I'm just saying that if definitely if the Powerpuff Girls gets a second season, they should put some a little bit of money in the animated Teen Titans Go's pockets and completely redo the animation and have Teen Titans Go's team do the animation, because I feel like the animation for the Powerpuff Girls and Teen Titans Go was really good. They had the thick outlines going, and they were very like smooth with the movements and stuff.
Right.
Rather like, well, not necessarily like.
Are you saying?
Well, no. Now, the original Powerpuff Girls had a sense of stiffness, but it was a good kind of stiffness. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but right. Teen Titans Go animators, they kind of got that stiffness down.
Right.
It feels like they move a little too swooshy and
in the new series. I mean, that's the whole thing with with a new identity, with trying to be different, with not a reboot. It's a remake. It's a restyling.
That's and like we said, like Mr. said, it might be going through an identity crisis. So
that's what it looks like. It's very odd in this situation where we are. Again, just going back to Cartoon Network, where we have this. They're like. But like I said before, we have all these shows that are still good. Cartoon Network isn't. Is this the end of? Let me just ask you straight up. Is this the end of Cartoon Renaissance?
No.
Okay. I think yes.
I feel like there are going to be some new shows to come through. Liquid Plaza Turbo.
Needs to be a show.
No. Listen.
Please.
I was checking Instagram, and Stephen Ogg.
Please.
Stephen Ogg, the voice of Trevor from GTA 5. Came from Cartoon Network Studios doing a voice for somebody in Liquid Plaza Turbo. So there's still hope. There's still definitely
That's like the
hope.
biggest tease that we've gotten since the new era.
I love Stephen Ogg as a voice actor. Not just as a voice actor, but as an actor in general.
Right.
GTA got me hooked on him, but then I actually saw his acting reel and realized how much of a actor he was, and I was just like, Son of Zorn.
Yeah.
But it was just like I really like Stephen Ogg, so I can't wait to see what they have. Unless they're still updating the OKKO game, I'm still shocked that came out before the show.
The show, that's what's weird. Like when I saw that come out, I was like, why is this not a thing yet?
Why is it Liquid Plaza Turbo?
Look, the reason why I say you say no. I say I think this is the end of. I think what makes a renaissance is something getting steadily better every single year. We see new content, still solid, and they're new and they're breakthrough and they're exciting.
No.
And like for example, Adventure Time regular show, great. Gumball came out 2011, great. Teen Titans Go, not great, but it brings in ratings, great. Yeah. Uncle Grandpa came out I think the same year, might be wrong. Okay. Fail, but that's gone now, right? Like they knocked that out quickly. Steven Universe. My God.
Phenomenon.
Yeah. Literally the new identity of Cartoon Network at this point. What else? What am I missing? We Bare Bears came out in 2015. Amazing. Clarence came out in 2014.
Now,
amazing.
Speaking of Clarence, because we didn't talk about Clarence yet.
Well, I'm worried about Clarence because we haven't gotten word of a new, or haven't gotten
word any new episodes or nothing like that.
That's what I'm worried about, because
there hasn't been news about Clarence yet, but there is one episode that I need to applaud. I need to literally applaud, and that episode is Mystery Girl. That episode is the cutest episode of any show I have ever seen, and the fact that it is so realistic to how a young child would experience that type of love. Like, I'm not saying they're in love, their boyfriend, girlfriend are going to get married.
The curiosity and the interest.
I love that it was so realistic. I loved that episode through and through.
Whenever
and I noticed another YouTuber. Brian will probably put his name here.
You always want to,
yeah. He had said that in the beginning, in the first season, Clarence, they had approached this topic with the episode where Clarence got a legitimate girlfriend. It was he was rushed into it, so he didn't really know what to do. So it was kind of awkward for him. It was awkward for the girl, so they just said, let's just not do this. And the fact that now Clarence has actually like experienced love for himself.
Now he can go on and
now he can actually be genuine, and I love the cuteness of the idea that the girl, she was scared of talking to Clarence in person because she was shy. So Clarence hides behind the tree. He hides behind the tree, and he picks up the phone and throws her and like they talk on the phone, and it was so cute.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry because it was adorable, man. Oh my god, it was adorable. Because it was so real. That is so real.
Whenever I see something like that whenever it's like something like Clarence we've seen, or with Loud House, like being relatable and that down to earth style where it actually feels down. It's truly in that sense. I lose it because you never really get that sense. There are always cartoons that try, but you never get that sense. And when you do, it's something magical, and it's amazing when they can incorporate that so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Thank you, Clarence. And like thank you so much to the writers of that episode. And just thank you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Clarence is missing, like no one is giving Clarence the credit it deserves. Everyone is saying that the animation is bad.
Oh my fucking god! I'm so tired of this.
And like everyone is saying, and like, wow, I do not condone the actions of what the original creator did. I do not condone the actions at all. He got fired.
Yeah, he left.
So like, I don't condone his actions at all. But it's under new management, and the show isn't bad just because of what happened.
Exactly. Like that's the whole thing. It's like I know first impressions are bad. First impressions are everything, but you have to move on at this point. It's that's dangerous right there. But no. God damn it.
I'm sorry. We got the TV on.
There's a Domino's commercial about
Pizza Hut.
About Pizza Hut.
Grilled cheese
stuffed pizza trying to kill us all. But seriously, this whole thing since the jump, like, whenever someone says, "Oh, the animation sucks, it looks bad," okay, if you want to look at that, then let's go to Ed and Eddie, because that animation wasn't 5 stars, so
it wasn't a Disney movie from the 90s necessarily.
And we've seen worse. The thing is, it shouldn't matter about this. It should matter about the it should matter about how the series is in terms of quality.
Right.
Because it could be the worst animation in the world, and sure, I may dislike the fact that it has
bad animation,
but
if it tells good stories, yeah. Like, and for the people that complain about this, Undertale fans, you know exactly what we're talking about. People bitched and moaned about how awful the graphics for Undertale were. Mm-hmm. But when you played that game, and you played all the way through pacifist, neutral, and genocide mode, you realized this game was just more than a cheap Earthbound lookalike, and that Toby Fox went to work on this game, exactly. And he wanted people to show that it was more than just that.
This is why it's like, again, the diversity and the design of the characters. Like, this is one of the oddball design, like one of the oddest designs that we have on Cartoon Network, and that's a good thing because there's so many Flash animated series that don't expand on the character designs, and I love the way that Clarence is designed. Clarence is just such a Clarence is a gem. This is what I meant by I think this is the best year out of any year. It might even be the best year a Cartoon Network's ever had. I might even challenge that because I'd put Clarence, Steven Universe, We Bare Bears, Gumball, Adventure Time, and Regular Show up against 2005's lineup any day. Because, yeah, it's just really good. I love the fact that, we have all these shows, again, like I said, that intertwine and do really great things by themselves, either because of the fact that they bring in ratings or because of the fact that they're really high-quality shows. Again, like we were talking about with Steven Universe, I just think that there's a lot more that's been offered than... And I love them. I love like Camp Lazlo and Foster's and Ed and Eddie, and I love those shows. But I think that this has even a stronger lineup than 2005, 2004 Cartoon Network.
I can hear the 90s kids coming in.
Oh no, like they can hate me. I'm just saying the truth here is we have not had a more diverse lineup. I mean, I don't know if you think the same. You probably think differently, but
I mean, I love both generations.
Yeah.
Equally, like very equally. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is a personal favorite.
Oh my god.
But I do see some competition going on amongst the two, especially with Steven Universe. Steven Universe is definitely the powerhouse out of these.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because Steven Universe, once, of course, season 1, people really didn't, like, it was a sleeper hit in the beginning, and then everyone started to pay attention to it after. Or just, like, midway through season 1, people started to pay attention to it more and more and more. And it's just garnered this attraction. Garnered, no pun intended. But, you laugh at every pun I make, but...
I'm the king of bad puns.
But no, it has this attention and this... It brings in people that actually, like, that want something that's high quality, and it deserves as many fans as it has. Again, regular show. I love how, like I said before, and I've said this multiple times. I love how great it is because of the fact that it can reach so many generations, but also have a great flow to it, and the characters feel so relatable, and it's just a great show in general.
Right.
I love the way that they do so many things with that. Adventure Time has lost its luster just because, again, when you build a show off of the fact that you don't know what you're doing and you're just going off and you didn't write and plan ahead, this is what happens. You make a world that's a little bit too big for its shoes, and we're at that point where Steven Universe is loved because their universe is filled to the brim with stuff that makes sense and is like it's filled, and it's not that, and it feels closely knit. It feels closely knit. It's well written. It's well done. Adventure Time.
And like, there's at least one character that everybody can relate to.
Exactly.
And personally, for me, obviously, it would be Sour Cream. And it's more than just because of him being a DJ and me being a DJ. But there's a lot of struggle that Sour Cream goes through in the music, as an artist and like going through the music industry. And you can definitely see that in Drop Beat Dad with the idea that his parents.
Yeah.
That his stepfather doesn't necessarily see him being a DJ as a good career choice. But at the same time, he respects him as a musician.
Exactly.
Rather than his father, his actual father that was just like trying to take advantage of the fact that he's a DJ.
Yeah. And
I've definitely had encounters such as that where my family members are only concerned about if I'm getting paid to do a certain show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very annoying.
Oh no!
It's really annoying frequently having to hear that from your family. Just like they're only concerned about what income I'm making rather than the fact that I'm happy doing what I love.
Yeah, you're doing something that is not new, but you're doing what you like, and the only reason they support you is because you can pass me. Oh, that's cool.
They're just asking if I make money. Like, granted, I haven't made any money yet. I'm not necessarily making money off of EDM per se, but the fact that I'm just happy doing what I love and I'm starting to finally get that goal is very rewarding.
And what makes it so relatable to you.
Yeah, and just like, and like even Greg said, like, I don't know if Sour Cream will ever make it to the industry, but as long as he's happy, that's always a good thing. And I'm just like, I love that idea.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, again, I mean, not to change significantly from what we're talking about here, but, from the state of Cartoon Network right now, even Gumball, right? I mean, we've gotten to this point where Gumball even is insanely good. Like, I didn't know Gumball could hit so well with some of these episodes, but they're doing a really great job. Some of these episodes are very well paced, very well done, very well written, and most of the time they don't hit Steven Universe highs, but they're in a different style altogether. So you can't really compare the two, but it's just so well done. Yeah, I mean,
like one thing that Gumball has always done is like, I call it Gumball the South Park of Cartoon Network, because it knows how to hit hot issues without. It knows how to hit hot issues without like trying to be biased on one side.
Right.
However, there is one joke in the episode where they wanted to become old people.
Okay.
And they were saying, and like when Gumball was trying to like slowly back away, he was saying, well, we'd love to stick and check and complain about how old things were, how back then things were better when they were actually worse, but we gotta go. And then, like, I like that idea because quote unquote, make America great again. Yeah, like I like that idea. Like I like that idea that they can take taunts. They can make little taunts at like certain media, and especially the one with the like where they were using Bobbert as a joke for the iPhone, and then at the end of the episode they said also the thing bends in your pocket whenever you put it in your pocket, and then they run off, but like they can't run fast enough,
right?
Because they hit the wall or something, then they just escape,
right?
So like I love the idea that they can make little references like that.
No, they do a great job.
And that anime fight. Did you see the anime fight?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god. That's another thing that I love is the fact that they can...
What budget do they have? Like, I know Gumball's ending, obviously, but the budget that they... it's unbelievable sometimes, some of the things that they get themselves into.
Originally, I heard that originally they wanted to get the animators behind Kill la Kill to do the anime fight.
Oh.
But they had turned them down.
Oh, okay.
And...
Americans.
No, they did get another anime studio to do it.
Okay.
But it was just they just couldn't get Kill la Kill to do it. But even still, the fact that they had a legitimate anime fight in Gumball was just
wasn't
beyond
a fan fiction thing. It was Gumball. It aired on Cartoon Network. That actually happened. Mind blowing.
Many feet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then like you look to 2016, 2017, 2018. This is why I say it looks like they're coming to a close with it. It won't be as bad as something like what we saw 2006, 2007, 2008.
I'm sorry, I'm drinking a smoothie.
But yeah, it won't be as bad as something like 2006, 2007, 2008. Also, people always talk about the fact that Cartoon Network was really bad. And look, it's bad that they didn't produce original content in that time period. Like, you know, the dark ages. But as a kid growing up...
Well, it was original. Like, it was just...
Like, growing up in that time, though, the crazy thing was that we had a Star Wars animated series, and I fell in love with that, and it was really good. There were...
Clone Wars.
Huh?
Clone Wars.
Yeah, the Clone Wars. It was really well done. I didn't realize, like, when I was a kid, I didn't realize these were even the dark days. Like, they did a really good job of covering up the fact that Cartoon Network wasn't making any new content. That there weren't new things going on. And, you know, as a kid, it's like, because I grew up in that era, it was just like, oh, whatever, you know. But when it comes down to what, like 2017, 2018, 2019, the reason why I say it looks like it's not as going. We're finally getting to that point where it's plateauing, and now it's going a little bit further down, or just plateauing in general. Ben 10 looks like it's not going to be. It's not going. It doesn't.
Definitely.
It has that style where, like I said in my reaction, it looks like it'll be good. Maybe it's a little too early to have a new Ben 10.
It looked like it's going to be okay.
Like,
okay.
We just had a Ben 10, and the animation looks bland. It looks awful. I'm sorry. I mean, well, I can't say how animation looks awful. Look, it just it's a different tone. It looks like it'll be different than what we saw, and I'm just sort of, what's up? And sorry, yeah, I'm just really disappointed in the whole thing. Yeah,
I feel like it's probably gonna do okay, and I don't want to sound like a '90s kid, but at the same time, I kind of feel like they should just play the original, like the original. Yeah. Something in me is just saying like they should just play the original, like not that the original. Oh, the original was better.
It actually had to, but
at the same time, it was just like like there's no point in like keep doing it over and over.
I'd rather see a new Generator Rex. That would make more sense. I don't understand.
I would have kept the concept of Ben would still be 10 years old, and it would still be in the idea, but like it would still be in the new generation. But I would like the idea that he was more like he kept getting more aliens throughout the series rather than him frequently aging. Because Timmy Turner hasn't aged for the past 10 years.
Well, 20, but I mean, I don't know. Well, even with the aliens, I'm sort of disappointed because we're at the point where like there's so many aliens that I've lost count, and I love it's the Pokemon. Effect.
I was about to say that.
It's like you have the original set of the original set, and
the original 150,
and then when you add all these other ones, you lose. It just loses quality. The Ben 10, once you have all of these aliens, it was cool in the beginning, but then and it was cool that he was gaining more and more and more throughout the series. But when you get to the next series. And then the next series.
I can only... the majority of the aliens I remember are from the original series and from Alien Force.
Yep.
And other than that, he just kept getting more and more. Like, I remember Diamond Head. I remember the Flame Guy. I forgot his name specifically. Accelerate. Forearms. And there was the Roly one. And there was the Clone. And there was Echo. And there was Humongosaur. But after the newest... series after that, I just couldn't remember. And then there were hybrid, and then in Omniverse, there were just hybrid versions of the classics, and just like,
yep,
it was just like it was too much to remember.
It was weird, yeah. I didn't get it because it just, again, we don't need a reboot right now. We don't, of all shows, Ben 10 is the one that needs a break. If you come back a decade from now and do a Ben 10, everyone would be excited. Sort of like the Powerpuff Girls thing. There are people that still liked the new Powerpuff Girls premiere and wanted to see it premiere because it had been a decade since the original. People watched the premiere because they wanted to do Powerpuff Girls. You bring in Ben 10 a decade from now instead of just jumping in 2 years after the other one. Come on. I get it, you want merchandise, but that's ridiculous. Which is just another reason why I think that it's not going to...
Just saying, I still kind of want an Omnitrix, but that's not...
I want one too.
I want OG Omnitrix. That shit was dope. It was like your entire arm, and then they just minuted it to like a mini watch.
Now you can get an Apple Watch Ben 10 edition. But no, it's crazy that this series of all of them is getting renewed so quickly and rebooted so quickly, and then we're getting this. This is why I'm saying I don't know the future of Cartoon Network has. I mean, 27. Again, we talked about Lakewood Plaza Turbo having potential, but I just don't see the likelihood that. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance that it's still not even going to happen, and I would love it to happen, but we've seen for years and years and years for them just doing games and shorts. We haven't seen them do this. And the fact that Mighty Magisword came before this, that's why I was just like, are you serious? Lakewood Plaza Turbo would have been the one that would have made sense.
Yeah. And I'm really hoping, when I see Mighty Magiswords, I'm really hoping that they don't make it into a 10-minute series. Keep it at 5 minutes, please.
No, that's what they're gonna. I promise that's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be a 10-minute.
And they show some of the 5-minute ads on YouTube.
Yep.
We're probably gonna get one of those ads when this video comes up, but they don't necessarily. But I noticed that they don't use fresh stuff. They just they rip the stuff from Seeing Anything, and you can tell that they did because it says choose your Magisword. And they'll just choose one of the random episodes because one of the random swords. And I know on Seeing Anything, they have options. So if you choose this sword, it'll show a different animatic. And if you choose this sword, it'll show a different animatic.
Right.
But they don't have either option. So if they do that upon premiere of this show, then it's not necessarily going to make sense.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's not necessarily going to miss it because that means there are a bunch of alternate endings to the show. There are going to be a bunch of alternate endings for the show after you premiere the show because there's not going to be
a particular
there's they're not it's just based on what the creator chooses, and you can't just pause the show
and choose.
It's not like the app.
Right. I mean, I also I don't. Yeah, it feels like it's gonna be a 10-minute thing because the way that they're setting it up, the way that they're the way that it looks like it, the way that it looks. This thing's gonna go out. It's gonna be a 10-minute thing. At least that's what it feels like, and they're bringing it to Cartoon Network.
Right.
If they do it 5 minutes, that would be great because I don't think a 10-minute thing works for them. I think that feels way too much like Teen Titans Go.
It was just like Fred.
It feels way too rapid. It doesn't work. It's too it's not funny. The jokes are more miss than hit, and there are so many things.
It was just like Fred. Like back in the day, we all used to love Fred. We loved
I didn't, but
his little 5-minute segments, 2-minute segments on YouTube. But he didn't deserve an entire full-length movie. He didn't deserve 3 entire full-length movies and a TV show.
No.
And because like I know Lucas Cruikshank, he has his own YouTube channel aside from Fred, and like I'm pretty sure he would probably agree with me.
Yeah, like
and
that.
Like,
no, Nick was just like, oh, we can make money off of this. I mean, Nick was, I don't know what the fuck Nick was doing. That was some weird, like when I saw that on TV, I was just like, that's.
Because like I kind of liked the first movie. I liked the story a little bit, little bit, and like I love because like, it was still back when I was younger, and like he was still in like his awkward phase, and like because it was still because I was in my awkward phase, he was in his awkward phase, so it was like something that I could kind of relate to.
Right.
Like the idea that like he didn't really have any friends, so like after he had faked an entire party and made it look like he made that I swear he made that party look like it was lit. He made it look like it was jumping.
Exactly.
But he didn't. But like at the same time, like after that, everybody wanted to be his friends, and he got his girl and all of that stuff. And like Judy came to his house to sing with him. It was just like I kind of liked it. I did because like at a younger age, you can kind of like the sympathy factor is a lot more stronger.
True.
But as I grew up, I realized that. I don't necessarily think we needed 3 more movies in a TV show, and I lost interest in the TV show as I got older because first off, they changed the characters up, and it just got a lot more.
I didn't think we'd ever talk about Fred like this. Fred is bad. I'm sorry. Also, I'm banning you from Fred. This is Cartoon Chat, not Fred Chat. But yeah. But yeah. Is there another series coming up on? Did they say it's like 2017? There was like Justice League, or was that's 2016?
I didn't hear anything about Justice League.
Yeah, they're having another Justice League sort of. This is also great because we're actually getting a darker side now, from Cartoon Network or from DC, which is going to be on the Cartoon Network, which is that we're finally getting a series which will cater toward that audience that we haven't really gotten very recently. But yeah, the Justice League is coming. That's a good thing, but I don't think that there's overall an excitement for anything new anywhere past that. Like again, Ben 10, we're just
there is some excitement for some new stuff, but it's not necessarily hype.
Yeah.
Like people were hyped for Steven Universe. People are hyped for Liquid Plaza Turbo. Mm-hmm. And people are hyped.
Oh. Okay. Am I interrupting something?
You're recording.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But what was I saying? What I was saying was that there isn't necessarily that much of a hype. There is some excitement for certain shows, but there isn't that hype that we've had in the last couple of years. So I can understand where you're coming from. Like there was like a hype for Steven Universe, a hype for Regular Show, a hype for Adventure Time, a hype for Gumball, like just a general hype for these shows. And there is a hype for Liquid Plaza Turbo, but that's the only thing Cartoon Network has going for.
Everyone's excited about Liquid Plaza Turbo, but they're not. They haven't greenlit the series. That's what's weird.
I feel like Adult Swim is kind of getting hype a little bit because Samurai Jack is coming.
Well, that is one of the things, right?
We don't know when, but it's coming.
They said 2016, and we still haven't gotten it yet.
They said March 2016, and we haven't got it yet.
All right. I hope they're still working on it. I mean, obviously they are, but I'm just curious of how long it's going to take, you know? Yeah, so there's more excitement right now for the Adult Swim section of things because it just is generally right now, Adult Swim's kicking pretty well as well. Like we talked about Rick and Morty doing an excellent job. But in terms of hype stuff, yeah, Samurai Jack, I think if there's any series that really deserves the hype and because we're finally getting the finishing. We're finally getting the overall, you know.
Yeah, because Samurai Jack itself, the show ended on it wasn't even a cliffhanger.
Just cut. I'm sorry, just cut.
Yeah, it was just a random episode, and it just ended there.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and like I don't even think Samurai Jack got canceled. It just that show ended there. Like Jack just died, and that was it. Like there was like evidence of him returning, and like he just like they never did anything with it. Yeah. And it was the last adventure. I think he was in ancient Egypt or ancient Greece, and he was going through a war. And he was helping these people with a war. And he sacrificed himself.
Okay.
And it was just like.
That's it.
Aku wasn't even there.
They're just like, what? Yeah, so...
He just died on a random adventure.
You know, what we've seen, like, from the concept renderings and everything, where, I mean, last year when they teased us with it, you know, it's exciting. It's really good to get back to this, and I don't know if they're going to do any modifications to it. I think that we'll probably see some higher quality, because this is such a show that's so hyped, and it's on Adult Swim now, and we're getting this hype for it.
And I remember the one clip they showed us, he was covered in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of stuff is going to be hype.
So I'm very excited to see where this goes, what we're doing with it. So, Samurai Jack, I'm very hyped for. So yeah, not Cartoon Network, the company overall, the network overall, including Adult Swim. There's some hype in 2017. But yeah, I think really all they have to do is greenlight Liquid Plaza Turbo, and I'm hyped for the next year or next 2 years. They say Liquid Plaza Turbo coming out in 2018. That's something to watch out for.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need to say. So, you know. I guess that wraps it up.
There is the one thing that we were talking about is, like, our favorite Adult Swim cartoons.
Our favorite... No, not wraps up with Cartoon Chat, but... Yeah, so next topic. Talk about Samurai Jack, it's an adult animated series. Well, it will become an Adult Swim animated series. But let's talk about our favorite overall animated series. What makes our overall top series our favorite? What makes it great? What's cool about it? Why we enjoy some of our best.
2016 and 2015 have been very good years for adult animation. Bob's Burgers has been getting the hype, even though Bob's Burger came out a lot earlier.
Came out in 2011.
2011. It's been getting a lot of hype since Adult Swim put it on the channel. And BoJack Horseman...
It's still on Fox, though, right? Yeah, we still...
Yeah, I believe so. BoJack Horseman is pretty good as well. But I was kind of pissed at, I think it was episode 10.
Of which season?
Of season 1. And I think it was the episode where Mr. Peanut Butter married... I forgot the girl's name, because I haven't watched the show.
I don't remember the girl's name either. It's okay.
Yeah, it was the Asian girl, but he had married her anyway. Like she had married him anyway, even after he pretty much showed that he engaged with her as a publicity stunt and to piss off BoJack.
Exactly.
And I didn't necessarily like the fact that they did that, but at the same time, BoJack is a realistic show. There isn't necessarily like no written out compromise. It's real as shit. Especially with the episode where he met up with his friend who got really sick, and he was just like, "This is the last time."
Cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. That episode where it was like
there was no.
Is that the one that also includes like his old friend who was the girl who was the reindeer or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, my life could have been like this if I." That was like that. That reached me very much. It was like,
and BoJack pretty much sold him, like pretty much left him out.
Yeah.
And screwed him over, just so he can make it to the spotlight.
Yeah.
And he pretty much ruined his best friend at the time's life, and instead of like some sort of sappy cartoon, he didn't he didn't forgive him for that.
No, it was like it was so serious. It was like, no, why the fuck would I forgive you? That's all you came here to ask for. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he came to ask for forgiveness. Like, but after you sold me out and after you treated me like dirt and left me behind after somebody was treating me like shit in the industry just so you could get the spotlight, why would I forgive you?
Exactly.
And I love the fact that the show is so real. And there was also the idea, another thing that Mr. Inter said, was that apparently they're only allowed to use fuck one time a season.
Really?
Yes.
I thought fuck was no. I know shit is now because
No, like this is a thing amongst the writers of BoJack Horseman. Like,
oh really?
yeah, they're only allowed to use fuck one time a season.
That's funny.
And and I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna use that word, use that word wisely.
Mm-hmm.
And they used it for the person that wouldn't forgive BoJack, who was his best friend, saying, "Now get the fuck out of my house."
Yeah, that's good.
And like, I'm guessing it just depends on the context. So, like, if you're gonna use it, you gotta use it on a very like
how
on
a
a
curse
big
word
context.
basically should be used, but obviously how a curse word should be used, but
Yeah.
Today isn't. But no, yeah, BoJack Horseman is an excellent series. I'd look at there are a number of series that I'd gravitate toward. You know, there's King of the Hill. Very iconic. You have, of course. Have you seen F is for Family? That was another Netflix.
I haven't watched that show.
It's very well done.
I know it's pretty good.
It's very good.
Major Lazer it had a lot of. I haven't seen anything else aside from the first couple of episodes.
Okay.
And
Major Lazer?
You never heard of Major Lazer?
No.
I think it's mainly because I'm a DJ. Because Major Lazer is.
Was it on Netflix?
Yeah, no, it wasn't on Netflix. It was on FX.
Oh,
and
that's why
FXX or something like that.
No, damn it.
And it was basically a show based on a music group, but the character is Major Lazer, and he's basically like a Rastafari in G.I. Joe.
Right.
And they would have special guests. There were supervillains that were like other musicians and other DJs. I remember Riff Raff.
Was actually.
Yeah, he was Double Cup. He was a villain, and he had.
That's cool.
And they all had musical numbers. Like the show, it was a musical show.
Right. That's cool.
And I liked the idea, and it wasn't just no cheap like cartoony shit. It was just like it was real like EDM.
Right.
And I'm glad that Major Lazer, Diplo, and the other people behind it, they
took it seriously.
Yeah, they took it seriously. They took the show seriously. They took the show's music seriously. And like there were some songs. I remember the Weed Man song. The Weed Man song, man. I would have dropped that in a set. Like I really would have dropped a song like that in a set.
Right.
And I know that Diplo is part of Major Lazer, so I'm hoping if the show didn't get canceled or something like that, I'm hoping there is a Jack U episode. And because like I'm kind of going to my EDM spiel.
Oh, it's cool.
And like I'm hoping that there is a Jack U episode because Jack U is the connection between Skrillex and Diplo. So I need to see a Jack U episode,
Gotcha.
a legitimate Jack U episode where Skrillex and Diplo are characters in the show. And because I've seen Skrillex act, but I haven't seen Skrillex voice act, and I want to see him as a cartoon character.
Right.
And I've been trying to I've been wanting to see an EDM producer voice act or like act in a TV show for the longest. And I'm pretty sure Dylan Francis is well on his way because I remember there was this poll Saturday Night Live saying who would you want to see next on Saturday Night Live, and Dylan Francis got spammed in the comments.
Oh my god.
He got spammed because I don't know if you have Snapchat.
I don't do Snapchat.
Like, I know you probably have Instagram, but
I haven't used it since 2015.
But Dylan Francis is a really funny guy.
Okay.
He's a really funny guy. I totally recommend.
Check him out.
Yeah, like definitely check him out and scope out just to scope out his videos because like he's a really funny person. His Snapchat is always lit, and I think the one that you need to see is his his promo for Hard Summer, and it was basically him, and he was in a little garage band like with a bunch of other DJs because like this is all acting because he's a really good actor.
Right.
Like this is all them acting about, and like they were in the garage band, and he was playing the spoons. And like someone was playing the tuba and someone was playing the keyboard. I think Miyao was playing the tuba, and he was just like, "Well, there's someone. I'm not gonna say the names. There's someone hogging all the tuba."
Oh my God.
And he was just like, he broke up with the band because he was just like, "I'm gonna do my own thing. Screw you guys. I don't need anybody." And then a couple 3 months later,
Right.
3 months later, he goes and he's the leader of Hard Summer. Like he's this big superstar because he plays the spoons.
Oh my god.
He plays the spoons and like he's headlining Hard Summer Fest.
Christ.
He's headlining Hard Summer Fest and like he starts acting like a diva. Like you know how like stereotypical celebrity divas he's just like everything like it's gonna be new branding, it's gonna be spoon, everything. Like,
oh my god.
And then I remember there was this scene, there was like the interviewer had asked him, there are rumors going around saying that Skrillex and this other person has been ghost producing with plastic spoons. And it's just like
I'm done. Oh my god.
And he said he was like at first he was trying to deny the fact that they were ghost producing. He was saying like, well they because it's kind of like he was like
it's all acting.
I forgot what he was saying specifically about like why it wasn't true, but then he was saying also they signed a no announcement they signed a non-disclosure agreement and they're fired.
Oh my god.
And then at the end of the then he
toward the end of it.
No, not toward the end. Skrillex, he comes in like he's carrying like a big fork, like a gigantic fork, trying to bring it into the studio, and then he says, "Everybody knows that spooning always leads to forking." And then at the very end, like it was like the screen is black, and then like it's Skrillex he's saying, "I just got a text from Dylan and it says that I'm fired, and now that I'm hired again."
Jesus.
Yeah. Dylan Francis deserves some sort of acting gig
in that series. Yeah, what would I go for? Because yeah, you're right. It's been a solid 2 years of great animated, adult animated content, adult animated series. I mean, South Park has gotten really good in this the past 2 years. Season 19, season 20, they're continual.
I kind of faded away from South Park. Like after there was an entire season, and it was like. It seemed like the entire season itself was just dedicated to bashing social justice warriors and the feminism and Tumblr-esque crowd. It was just like it felt like it was an entire season dedicated to just trashing that topic.
Yeah,
and I get that they speak on hot issues, but when you have an entire season dedicated to that, it just gets tedious.
They broke it into multiple sections, and then they talked about. The idea of gentrification, the idea of gentrification and advertising and ad buying and featured content, and the fact that they jumped into a lot of different topics. South Park has done a solid job in continuing to find a new way to keep themselves relevant, because season 19 and 20 have been continual series instead of the usual like episodic style. So. Right now they're dealing with the Donald Trump presidency. Like that's the whole joke around this time. I'm dealing with the Donald Trump presidency. The whole PC thing's gone now. Or is it gone? I can't recall.
It's not necessarily gone, but
it's changed South Park forever. That's the whole thing. It's changed South Park forever, and now we're in this place where they're adapting, or they've fully adapted, and now there's someone that's hacking and doing. It's all about the online stupidity of trolls now and how far trolls are going.
I wouldn't be surprised if South Park took a shot at Leafy. Leafy is here.
Is that the frog?
The YouTuber.
Well, I'm glad I could be your copy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You name yourself Leafy on YouTube. I'm gonna think you're the frog that's on the.
You really don't know who Leafy is here.
I have no who.
Do you know who Keemstar is?
I've heard of him. Filthy
Frank.
No.
What? Anyways. Anyway. So what I'm saying is, I feel like it's not going to be long before South Park starts taking shots at YouTube.
Well, yeah.
Like, especially like with all of
the online, yeah.
Yeah, with all of the YouTube drama filtering, I wouldn't be surprised if they either, because they already had PewDiePie guest star in an episode.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they either had Leafy or any of these YouTube drama phenomenons right now have any of them cameo in an episode, or they take shots at at these characters. I definitely wouldn't be surprised.
Nope.
Because if Ego Raptor can get a cameo in Rick and Morty, then
it would be surprising. No.
Yeah, then I'm pretty sure Leafy or any of these people can get a cameo in South Park.
Yeah. The reason why, of course, I brought up favorite animated series is because we have two new ones that are Legends of Chamberlain Heights and Son of Zorn. Have you seen Legends of Chamberlain Heights yet?
I haven't watched it, but I have seen your reviews and the trailers of it. It seems okay.
So I said something about how it's all about how the shouting may get to it. It's not the shouting; it's the fact that it depends on it's tailored toward an audience, just like Atlanta is tailored to an audience that'll only understand it because they've been through that situation or in that setting. So it all depends on the ratings of people that actually understand what the fuck they're talking about. Because I think there's an audience out there, like for example, there's a person that we talked about earlier, where they won't understand it and they'll just think that this is stupid, but it's actually relating to a serious situation and just making a parody off of the fact that the inner city is so shitty.
Yeah,
I will admit that every time that's Legend of Chamberlain Heights, and
I will admit that every time I see the ad where it's the white kid and he says, "I just busted 3 nuts in under a minute," that's gotta be a world record somewhere. It's so funny that the white guy is voiced by the man that plays Black Jesus, and Lamar from GTA 5.
Yeah,
and I find that to be the most hilarious thing because he's faking it's like the white guy who thinks he's black. But at the same time, they kind of get the character down point to the fact that, you would associate with this person because he's actually been through something. He's not necessarily like Jake Long or those stereotypical white people that try to be black where they just come off as ghetto and they want to be ghetto. And they think that they want to be ghetto.
They try and they don't need to, and they try to be, and it doesn't make sense.
But you can tell that this kid has actually grown up in this area, has grown up in the projects, and he has that mindset.
Right.
It's nothing about him trying to be anything. That's him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane it's insane that they got it down so well. Because I was very surprised at how well they did it. But no, I mean, it's weird. I pose this question to you, favorite adult animated series, but I can seem not to answer it myself right now because I can't think of. I think there's one that I probably have, but I can't think of it right now.
Describe it.
No, I can't. I literally can't think of it right now. That doesn't make any sense, but I mean, as in, there's probably one that I've watched and I've said, "Man, this is amazing," and I can't remember. But
there is one I forgot to mention.
What's up? Brad
Neely's Hargnarlin Scolio PPO.
Is this on Adult Swim?
Yes, it is.
I'm not surprised because that fucking name.
It's from the creator of China, Illinois.
Okay.
And it's basically sketch comedy, and they make a lot of funny pop culture references and stuff.
Right.
And I remember my all-time favorite skit was Doo-Doo Man.
Yeah, it makes sense because that thing is stupidly funny. I haven't seen much of this series, but from what I've seen out of clips and things like you just showed me, it's insane. It's stupidly funny. But yeah, I don't know. That's fucking crazy.
I mean, I like. A lot of people are bashing it and thinking that it's trash because I believe he left the show. He left China, Illinois to do this, but I'm not sure. Or unless China, Illinois is on some sort of hiatus, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But one thing that has made me more interested to the show is that I was scrolling through Facebook one day and I noticed that there was a woman who posted a status about how someone had smeared shit all over their car.
Oh my god.
And this was after the Doo-Doo Man. I've seen Doo-Doo Man.
So now someone wants to be
and
the Doo-Doo Man.
I screenshotted it and I tweeted it to Brad Neely. And he retweeted and he was like, I'm like, and this is what made me more interested in the show. He was like, I'm so sorry that this had to happen to somebody. But, and like I was saying, like my caption was, Doo-Doo Man is real.
Yeah.
And he said, but not only is Doo-Doo Man real, everything in Hargnalan is real. And I'm just like, no way. So like, because like, I don't know if that is a reference, like saying like these are all based on like true
things
stories.
that actually, I'm sure that there's probably that most likely these are things that he has that either happened in reality or something that he's seen.
Yeah, like he's very responsive on Twitter too. Like he'll like if anyone like tweets him a joke from the show,
right?
Like it's always pretty good. You should definitely watch.
I'll check it out because from what you showed me, man, very very weird.
It reminds me
of ADHD almost.
Yeah, in a way, it's like to me, it's like Brad Neely's call to Robot Chicken.
Yeah,
and like because like Robot Chicken pretty much does the same thing. They have aside from the difference of stop motion animation is that they make pop culture references and like they make the pop culture references. They do all of these like funny skits and like it's stupid funny.
Yeah.
Rather like it's not necessarily nonsensical, but it's just stupid humor.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with stupid
Crude humor. Yeah.
I'm talking to you, Uncle Grandpa haters. It's just like there's nothing wrong with stupid humor, and I love the fact that Brad Neely has done this stupid humor. Yeah. And as much as I love China, Illinois, I love this too
as well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good series. Man, I can't think of any. At this point in time, I need to ask because I just want to know. So we've been really discovering a bunch of different cartoons, right? But Family Guy, the rise of Seth MacFarlane. At this point in time, after Family Guy, so like I'm going to do a thing called I'm not going to announce the name of the series yet, but this is going to be a new series. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. But Family Guy died back in 2002.
Definitely.
It came back in 2005. No, I mean it died in 2002 as in the original network that was airing it cut it. I think it was NBC. Cut it. And then Fox shut off. Fox ended pretty much ended Futurama to launch American Dad on the network.
Yeah.
And then American Dad launched, and at the same time, Family Guy was rebooted basically. It's been on for 11 more years. We have American Dad. The Cleveland show tried and failed, obviously. At this point in time, it doesn't need to just. Is it? I don't think it's a. I don't even.
Family Guy needs to die. I don't like what Family Guy has become.
Plus, its ratings are literally slipping. At this point, now its ratings are actually slipping. It used to be a steady 6 million viewers from 2000, like 7 to like 14. We're at the point now where it's actually beginning to decline. American Dad's beginning to decline, but they're on TV.
Because like now it just feels like Family Guy is just trying to piss people off.
Yeah.
And I don't like the idea of just generally trying to piss people off just for the sake of pissing people off.
Just have Peter Griffin as a super asshole, to be asshole to a certain thing or
like the episode that cut me off was the episode where Meg finally stood up for herself, and they made it look like Meg was the bad guy for doing so.
Well, I mean that's the whole Family Guy. I mean, I didn't. What I don't like is the fact that. Because I didn't understand who MacFarlane was until I actually researched who MacFarlane was. This dude is smart. He's brilliant. He's funny, and he makes this garbage basically. He makes garbage. American Dad isn't really like high quality stuff. I think this dude could make amazing content, but instead he chooses to make basically garbage humor.
I feel like he should go on the Trey Parker, Matt Stone route, and do musicals, like do screenplays.
Yeah.
Because I know he doesn't, like, just like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they don't fuck around when it comes to music. Family Guy does not fuck around when it comes to music.
No,
so
I mean,
I definitely see Seth MacFarlane doing a musical.
Mm-hmm. No, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm more surprised that he ran his movie potential, his film potential, he ran into the ground, because Ted was a good one. Then he did Ted.
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
He did A Million Ways to Die in the West, which was better than what people just bashed it to bash it. I thought it was interesting. But
I never actually
but
sat down and watched it.
But like then he pushed for Ted 2, and it was like, why? No one asked for like.
A lot of people love the original Ted.
They love it, but they don't. It was just like, all right. I mean, what I don't understand is why he didn't just say, all right, at this point in time, let's do a Family Guy movie. Let's make $100 million. Let's just push a Family Guy movie out. Fuck it, whatever. Like
Family Guy. Like if The Simpsons can get a movie, the Family Guy needs a movie. The Family Guy can get a movie. But the Simpsons movie was good.
Don't know why they haven't had a sequel yet, but yeah, it was really good.
I mean, they kind of like took a nudge at the sequel at the end credits, where like Maggie, her first words were sequel.
Yes. And I was like, oh, so...
And, like, they just casually walked away like they're just going to pretend that she didn't say that.
Like, 20th Century Fox, of all people, they want money. I'm very surprised.
And, like, it's just a matter of what they do, because they pretty much... The Simpsons have done everything, and a lot of people have gotten their...
Yeah, The Simpsons...
Like, a lot of people... Like, The Simpsons pretty much originated a lot of plot ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, South Park even did a thing where an episode called Simpsons did it.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, I don't know. I know The Simpsons will never end, but their ratings are also like down. Anime, like the whole like Sunday night programming block is down in the ratings. So it's weird, but yeah, I don't know what to think of Simpsons and Family Guy and American Dad. I mean, American Dad was supposed to end, but TBS renewed it, so American Dad's still alive. And Family Guy's still there because it brings in okay ratings. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, no. There's a lot of good adult animated content out there. I still hope that we get some good animated films out there, because Sausage Party made a lot of money, Deadpool made a lot of money, and so what we should be able to see is a really good action animated film. I'd love to see that. I'd love to get to that point.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we need another 9. I don't mean like a sequel to 9.
No, but yeah, something like that.
Like something like 9, something that's a legitimate action
animated series,
animated movie.
Yeah, movie. Yeah, not series. Movie. Yeah. No, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. 9 gets forgotten. I'm surprised you can say that out of the blue.
One thing that Cell Specs has brought to my attention is the fact that anime movies do not get the credit that they deserve. So I'm hoping that we should get at least one more not one more, but an action wide released anime movie. From I don't care what movie it is. I don't care if it's Kill la Kill. I don't even watch Kill la Kill. Mm-hmm. But like if it's Kill la Kill, maybe Bleach gets a movie since it's the final finale.
I mean, DBZ has pushed for film, has been pushing out films a lot.
But there haven't been wide release theater films.
Haven't they?
No.
They're not in every good. They're not.
The last good action anime movie.
I swear the DBZ has been out in theaters and all that stuff.
The last action DBZ animated movie I've seen was Cowboy Bebop.
Not DBZ as in Dragon Ball Z.
I know. I'm talking about the last.
You said the last DBZ movie you saw.
I said the last action animated.
Oh, no, yeah, Cowboy Bebop. I love that. I love
the last action good action anime movie, like based on an anime series, was Cowboy Bebop.
God, it's so good. Yeah, man, I love that movie. I really love that movie.
And like, I don't really count Dragon Ball Z primarily because, not that I dislike Dragon Ball Z, but it's just like I got bored of it.
Right. No.
I got really bored of Dragon Ball Z.
No, but just, animated movies, I mean, anime deserve to have feature films that really make it wide, right?
And I think
that something like an Attack on Titan releasing in theaters could work because it has a following. I think that Kill la Kill could work because it has such a following. Shows that a series that have a following can really work, and I think that we just aren't really, we don't usually see them get the light of day. Obviously, we're gonna get an anime. We're gonna get an anime. You know that, right? An anime movie coming out.
When?
Detective Pikachu. The movie. Serious. It's coming out. They don't want to do a Pokemon movie. They want to do a Detective Pikachu movie.
Boy.
They don't want to do a.
First, you give us that trash that was the new Pokemon show.
That's not. I don't think that's bad. I'm like. don't think that's good.
Like, I know I'm not I shouldn't judge cheap animation, but good lord, man.
Again, I don't think it's cheap. I don't think that's cheap per se. I think that's the general anime style that we've seen from so many different anime.
I'll have to watch more of it for myself, but like, what? Who asked for this?
What?
Detective Pikachu. Who?
The millions who played Detective Pikachu. The whole the millions who were up for Detective Pikachu.
Unless Phoenix Wright is making a cameo, I don't care.
I mean, wouldn't that be funny? But no. Yeah, apparently that's gonna happen. Yeah, it's weird.
Why?
I'm fascinated as to why.
That's like if people begged for Hey You Pikachu to get an HD remaster. Mm-hmm. Like, why?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. But no. Yeah, they deserve the light of day. I'd love to see some more hit. I also like the fact that we're beginning to get some live action transitions over, but they need to be good. That's the whole thing. I think that there are a lot of anime out there. There are a lot that can be moved to live action and do really well.
That was another problem with like that is that there's a lot of whitewashing going on.
Yep.
I'll be completely honest.
I mean, look, the Great Wall with Matt Damon. That's yeah. No. That
movie was trash.
That totally is, gonna suck.
Oh man,
couldn't just get someone else in there.
That movie is the definition of historically inaccurate. The definition of historically inaccurate.
Wasn't like
for starters,
wasn't there like dragons and crap in there?
Hold up, let me explain. Let me explain. So first off, you get this dude that is whiter than whiteout to play a Chinese warrior. A Chinese warrior. Okay. First off, and you're defending the Great Wall.
Didn't even have to do an accent either.
And you're defending
speaking English from England.
And you're defending the Great Wall, not just from Mongolians, but from fucking dragons. Fucking dragons. Why? Who gave Michael Bay a history textbook and made him think, hey, this could be cooler? Why? Why? Why dragons? It would have been good if you just made it about the War of the Great Wall. But no, you had to try to make it cooler, but it just came out stupid.
This is why we wouldn't even be able to have an Attack on Titan live action series, because they wouldn't do Japanese. They wouldn't do Japanese at all. They just, And look, I mean, I think that look, here's the thing. Look, I when it comes down to whitewashing, I'm okay in some conditions with it, because not whitewashing, but generally diversifying. Because for example, if it was something like Attack on Titan, right? I think that you could have a full cast of different diverse. If you made Attack on Titan in the sense that everyone used to live throughout the world, and then they had to go behind the walls, you'd have lots of different mixing, which makes sense. So it would make sense that everyone's there, and they're all different types of people and all that stuff. You don't have to stay there necessarily. Come on. What?
This is insulting, man. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
That sounds like something Avatar would do, but worse.
The Last Airbender?
Yeah, The Last Airbender. That sounds like something Avatar because Avatar has explored the idea of dragons, but this was fictional ancient Chinese.
Right.
Ancient China. Mm-hmm. So, the idea... it would make a lot more sense in a place like Avatar.
Sorry, Avatar.
But it's historically inaccurate as fuck if you're trying to base it off of the real Great Wall War just to make it cooler.
That made no sense. It was
at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah. That was embarrassing. Matt Damon, what are you doing? Or why are you being so
It's
stupid?
time to stop.
It's time to stop.
Final topic.
Final topic, ladies and gentlemen. And we can make this a little shorter if you want. Let's talk about Nicktoons. Nickelodeon has said that they're going to be making feature films, basically, that will encompass they'll be classic Nicktoon series. But what are the Nicktoons that haven't been really announced, or even the ones that are announced? What are the ones that you really want to return? The ones that just you really want to see revived and come back, and not just continue on, but a reboot or a reboot. How would you want it to work? All that stuff.
I've talked about yours, and I've talked about this one in a couple of podcasts. Like the last 2 podcasts I was with you in.
Did we do a cartoon chat?
Nick and Disney, remember?
That was when Tech Gaming Podcast was just whatever podcast.
You should upload that to the YouTube channel because it only got that barely got any views.
It got 6 views. Yeah.
Yeah, you should just upload that on athemocracy.
But
the 2 that I've been always wanted to see is, I know that we're getting the Jungle movie, but I wanted to see the Patakis happen.
The what?
The Patakis.
Oh, okay.
You know what the Patakis is, right?
I believe so.
It was basically a revamp of Hey Arnold when they're older, but it was from Helga's perspective and not Arnold's.
Okay.
And there were going to be more therapy sessions with Dr. Bliss.
Okay.
And she would just be telling her normal days, just her going through her regular teenage struggles and stuff.
Right. Okay.
And the other one, the one that I've talked about frequently in your podcast, was the Rugrats reboot. That theory, the idea of if it's a bunch of new babies.
Oh, that's it.
New babies.
Why Nick hasn't jumped on this? I don't know.
Rather than keeping it the same Tommy, Chucky, Phil, rather than keeping them 1 to 3 years old for 10 years, I want to see the idea of the Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Lil grown up.
Oh God, that would
no.
How many ratings that? How much that would bring in?
Yeah, they're full grown adults, but they're not the main characters.
No, they're not. The kids
are. Yeah, it's Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Lil and Kimmy's their kids.
You know what's interesting? They're literally about to miss. They're about to miss the boat right now because of the fact that
we got Jungle Movie coming in next year.
No, what I'm saying is that that generation that were young and babies at the time of the original Rugrats is getting to that age group where they will be fully fledged adults. They will be having kids. And hypothetically, if Nick wants to really score, they do that theory. They do exactly what you just said, which is you have the original characters become adults. You have their kids become the main characters. And you have the whole world it'd be completely different because, of course, you have now a 21st century technological world.
And I don't even know what happened with Klasky Scupo, but I remember there was another Rugrats series aside from All Grown Up.
Oh my God! Oh no!
It only lasted 4 episodes.
I know. Oh God, no!
The animation was creepy.
Yes,
it was definitely creepy.
It was very bad.
But
God, no! I saw 1 episode and I just was doing a YouTube dive and I saw it and I was like, what the? Oh God!
I feel there was an episode that tested the idea of Angelica and Susie in preschool. Mm-hmm. There was one episode of the Rugrats that tested that idea, but I didn't necessarily like the idea of them being in preschool as a complete series.
Yeah, that could be a one-off episode.
Every few episodes, they have one of Angelica and Susie in preschool, but mm-hmm. I didn't want an entire series of it. It's just like Fred.
Yeah. No, I think I would go with, there are 2 that I want to go with. The first one is...
You're going to say Danny Phantom.
That's my second. But...
I called it, because after Butch Hartman did that 10 years later drawing, everybody wants to see Danny Phantom come back.
Yeah, but no, the first one is Avatar. And the reason I say Avatar is because Korra did not turn out as well as the original Avatar because the stakes didn't seem as generally high. The way that they set up the episode, the way that they set up the seasons wasn't as suspenseful as that of, oh, the comet's coming. Oh, this is a deadline. We need to get to this. The way that they developed the characters, the fact that it wasn't...
Last Airbender continued through comics.
It continued through comics, and we have a comic now. Or a couple of years ago, there was a theory that there was a comic coming out talking about Zuko being the leader. I want to see an actual... I want to see a series...
And there was a...
I want a series that's just completely about Zuko's time as Fire Nation leader, how he had to deal... How he's dealing with... He's still battling with the fact that he's leading, and apparently there's there's an inner structure, there's an inner battle that he's going through. And I know that some people don't like Zuko. I actually really enjoyed Zuko because the way he turned made sense. He didn't like the fact that he was just following orders. People some people really dislike this idea, but I thought it was a very solid and made a lot of sense. That
Like, he was just trying to please his father. But
but he didn't want to...
In the end, he realized that he doesn't need to please him because his father pretty much treated him like trash since the beginning.
Exactly.
After he started reading more up on his history of his family and, like, how he's pretty much kind of connected to the Avatar, he's just like, maybe I'm not fighting the good fight.
Exactly. And so, God, I hate Family Guy, but no. So,
Yeah, we still have the TV on during the day, like during this podcast, and like Family Guy just came on.
Remember when Brian and Stewie's times were actually pretty fun and interesting?
Yeah.
But no, I'd love to see one where it like dives into, and they're still adults, so we still get from time to time the Avatar. We still get Aang. I almost Last Airbender did. I almost said Ong. But
I wanted to see Book 4 happen instead of Korra. I didn't hate Korra, but I wanted to see Book 4 happen.
Right.
Because I wanted to see what happened after they saved the world.
Well,
and what new challenges, because I remember there was a fan-made comic where there was a fan-made series of it where like Aang and Katara, they went back into the Water Tribe and like they were the leaders of the tribe, and I think they were planning on starting a family. Toph went back to see her parents since they saved the world, so they didn't have to worry about her being put on the bounty.
Exactly.
Then Zuko was doing his thing as a fighter, so he had just to stay. And then, like, I remember in the actual comics, the canon comics, they had studied, they had, like, went through the journey of Zuko's mom. Like, what truthfully happened to Zuko's mom. And
that should be a miniseries.
Yeah.
Like, that should be a miniseries.
And I remember in The Legend of Korra, one of Tenzin's kids, they had asked Katara, because Katara was still alive then.
Right.
She had asked, hey, is Grandma Katara, what happened to Zuko's mom? And then Katara was about to talk about it, but then they cut it off. Like, it was a joke. Like, it was kind of like a joke thing. It was like,
where it's like,
anyway.
No, but, yeah, it's... I'd love to see that, and then like you said before, or like you already knew already. I just think that there's too much potential. Like we have the emptiness we have a lack of action animated series. We have the lack of a good high school animated series. I mean, I know Gumball, is that middle school or high school?
Middle school.
We're missing a good high school series.
Ladybug and Cat Noir, but that's not American made, so it doesn't count.
But no, but.
I mean, it's still a good. It's still
a good one, but
it doesn't count because why can't America do this?
Yeah, but generally speaking, Danny Phantom has the interest, it has the care, and again, Butch Hartman. I mean, I see his videos. He does YouTube. Look, he's cool and all, but dude, you really need to change Fairly Odd Parents. I think also Fairly Odd Parents could get rebooted as a new character, go into the same world.
I like the idea of. You remember in Timmy's kids.
Why again? I said this in my rant, but a couple of months ago. Why Butch Hartman again and again and again is adding more characters for comedic value when you don't need that. Why he hasn't just said, all right, we already have an ending called Channel Chasers. Let's call back to that to get kids to everyone get nostalgic again, and then let's wrap Timmy Turner's series up. Well, not Timmy Turner up, but have him be an adult and have him just have another heartfelt time where it's like, it's not Timmy anymore. It's his kids, and that's where it is, right? Like that's the whole thing. But I don't think the one reason why I don't think Timmy is the greatest thing to go on is because of the fact that this leads to the idea that, and I love the way that they ended. I love the way that Channel Chasers ended. I love the way that it was just all right. He becomes an adult.
He's grown up. He's all grown up now, and he's forgotten Cosmo and Wanda, but his kids still have him.
Right.
Like that's a beautiful idea.
I think that's cool. I'd love to see another family. I'd love to see another family or another or set of fairies. And I think that the issue
and
is
like the biggest thing is we didn't need the live action movie to see that he got with Tootie.
I don't think that was ever necessary for any point in time at all. I think that was probably the dumbest. It was irrelevant. Basically, it was odd. It was useless. It was stupid. But no, I mean,
like I didn't have a problem with the first one, but then when they made I had
a problem with the first one.
One or two more series.
I had a problem. With the first
one or two more movies. It was just like why?
Because I just had a problem because this wasn't Fairly Odd Parents. Again, Poof was jumping the shark. And then we just
and
have,
like we didn't have a
the
problem with Proof at first because they did stuff with him.
Yep. Other than that, though, it's destroyed, it's ruined, it's nothing. And Fairly Odd Parents needs to change. But again, I love Butch Hartman was cool, but I mean, he's a cool person. But what he's done, what they've done, what the team has done at Fairly Odd Parents is disappointing as hell. And they need to acknowledge that. They can't just sit there, have a smile on their face, and say, "Oh, this is cool," because this isn't like Teen Titans Go. This is actually the original Fairly Odd Parents. This isn't the original Teen Titans. This is the original Fairly Odd Parents. Meaning that you guys have pivoted so far from where you originally were that you legitimately do not have a great series anymore. So, anyway, Danny Phantom though, I think has the potential as well. I think Danny Phantom, if you go with another character, or I think you could do an adult Danny Phantom if you wanted to. You can even make that into a movie if you wanted to. But I really think that there are many different ways. I'd love to see a new person go into the Ghost Zone accidentally. I'd love to see a new. Again, these are a new generation and different style. That's right.
Rather than just making a continuation, sucking the dicks of the '90s kids.
Yep. So I'd love to see that. I'd love to see these new adaptations of things that we've already seen. Again, we've seen all these different movies do it with reboots and remakes and all that stuff. I just want to see a new style take on this because you can still have the same original series,
right?
Just add different characters. It can be Fairly Odd Parents. Add new character. No. Add a set of new fairies, a new character from a different maybe side of the planet, something like that. I don't know, but just I'd love to see something new that's different and changes a little bit because again, what we've seen from this is not interesting at all. Again, we really hate Family Guy, but
yeah, like Lois is such a bitch.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that wraps us up.
Yep.
All right.
Lois is such a bitch. That's what we're ending off on. Hashtag Lois is a bitch in the comments.
Lois is a bitch. Hashtag. On the Insta bombs and the face grams. Guys, thanks for listening to Cartoon Chat episode 4. I'm Brian Swan.
I am AJ.
Find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and find Austin
everywhere.
The Twitters, the Snapchats, the SoundClouds, all the places in which serve great and awesome content. Guys, again, thanks for listening. This has been Cartoon Chat. Stay tuned.